There is an organization for private care, and you'll find it in such places that charge $6,000 to $9,000 a month, which most of us can't afford. So the places that we can afford are not overseen, and we want to change that. The Minister of Health and Social Services is interested in that subject, and when we were in Quebec City a couple of weeks ago, we sat with him and some of his people, and that's one of the issues that we talked about and that we want to find ways to work together. Another area that we work on is mature workers, so-called people that are over 50, and if you followed the old Dutch people this week being turfed out after 25, 30 years, forced into the workforce, this is a major problem that we want to address, and we have partnered with CDEC and the Fédération des Aînés du Canada, which is our partner in the rest of the country for French-speaking Canadians outside of Quebec, to try to work on this issue. We are planning next year for a Living with Dignity conference. As you know, the Quebec government have come out with a proposal on dying with dignity and how to do that, and so this is something that we want to explore and bring all the issues before us. Financial security is another issue that we are working on. When somebody wants a guaranteed income supplement, they have to apply. A lot of people don't know they have to apply. We want, and we're working with, partnered with FEDOC, the Fédération de l'Âge d'Or de Quebec, trying to have this as an automatic issue, so that if you meet the threshold, you don't have to go through a process, the government puts you in the process. Because there's a lot of poor amongst seniors, and this is one way we can try to help that by making it a little more comfortable. We are trying to partner with CCS Foundation, again, on some of the housing issues. We are a member of the CHSSN, the Community Health and Social Service Network. We are a member of Quebec Community Groups Network. We are a member of the Montreal Council of Women. So we've been expanding our partnerships to make sure that we become the voice that we intend to be, by making sure that we hear what's going on everywhere and carry that to the government. We've had meetings in Ottawa with the Interministerial Committee on Seniors, very successful. We did that with the Fédération des Aînés, made a joint presentation, and have developed some working relationships. As I mentioned, we just had a meeting in Quebec City with the Minister of Health and Social Services and some of his people around some of the issues. And so that's an example of going out and making sure that we tap the shoulders of people in power and make them aware of what the concerns of seniors are, and help them to change policies and make them more relevant. We have the honor of, if I could be so bold as to announce our official launch date next month with the Office of the Commissioner of Official Languages. Now that Parliament has been told it's going to be back in session, the Commissioner can schedule his tabling of his report to Parliament, and that report speaks to major issues affecting the English-speaking community in Quebec, seniors in particular. And we are, on the 19th of November, officially going to tell the world that we exist. And with the Commissioner pushing us, it's a major feather for us to be able to say that we are here and we want to be relevant to everybody. I want to raise a particular thank you to an angel. This person has made this day possible. This person has made this organization possible, and without this person's involvement in us. In spite of her infirmities, she has given and then continues to give and then gives some more. It's a perfect example of a volunteer, and why we call her an angel is because we couldn't be without her. So I'd like to ask Ruth Pelche to come up.
There it is.
We want to give you some flowers. We want to say thank you.
I've known you so long, David, I can still beat you up. Thank you very much. Not necessary, but thank you.
This is an example of a volunteer who we like to emulate and who inspires us every day to go beyond what we do, to do more. If Ruth can do it, we all can do it. And I've known Ruth since I was a baby. And we've developed a good working relationship, and it's because of her that I'm here. I would not, when I retired, I was a social worker at Saint-Oisès de la Montagne, working in the home care department. So my background has been working with seniors and helping them fight for the rights and so on and so forth. And when I retired, Ruth kindly decided I needed something to do, and called me, and you don't know how to say no to Ruth, so I didn't. So that is why I'm here. And I thank her for that, because it's made me, as a retired person, wanting to do something useful, wanting to find a voice for seniors, and English-speaking seniors had no specific voice. We're lost in many organizations, but no one voice fighting for our rights and needs across. So, and with various levels of government saying that English-speaking people aren't even a minority in this province, we've had to fight basic issues with all levels of government. In Quebec City recently, there was a conference on age-friendly cities. And the Minister of Health and Social Services, Mr. Hubert, there are over 500 municipalities in this province who are involved in the age-friendly cities. But on the island of Montreal, they're less involved. And since there is municipal elections all across this province, one thing I would like to urge is you go to all candidates' meeting is to ask candidates what their position is on age-friendly cities, how they are making their particular municipality more friendly, not just to seniors, but mothers with children in strollers, how easy it is to cross the street when there's not enough time to get there. Simple, basic issues that we need to raise the voice, and it goes across the line from birth up to seniors. So if we are not in one silo, we are part of a whole group of people, and that if we work together, the government cannot ignore us. And that is the theme that was presented at the Age-Friendly Cities Conference, sponsored by the World Health Organization in Quebec City, that we must ally ourselves with each other to make the issues that are important to us upfront, and that if we're allied, we cannot be bought off by one section against another section. And that's what's been done so far. I want to make, and I'll be curious if you feel the same way, but I think making this conference, this recognition conference, an annual event, because there's lots of examples of English-speaking seniors across this province who have made and continue to make and should continue to make contributions, and we should acknowledge that. It's important for us to raise the voice that we are here, that we have roots in this province, this is our home, and nobody should tell us that we should go away. We have a right to be here, and we have made and continue to make major contributions, as the front of this room shows. And I'll take that as a yes. I think it's been suggested that I withdraw and I turn it back to Bill. And I always obey. What was that in the British series, The Woman Who Must Be Obeyed? That's our Ruthie.
Mr. Lincoln has a remarkable background in volunteer work. He's been president of Social Promotions, Taylor Thibodeau.